Fusion Mobile, quality e-learning experience on the go.
You're welcome back to the class. For this class, we're discussing graphical methods of inequality. Graphical methods of inequalities. Okay, because of how tedious this used to be, fixing a graph, we take just one illustration and then we'll be solving by example. Okay, we have example 1. Plot the graph of the system of inequalities. Okay, you're given 6x plus 5y minus 30 to be less than or equal to 0, and then you have also that 3x minus 2y plus 6 is less than or equal to 0. So it's greater than or equal to 0, and the y is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, and so before we start, we go proper into the major solvings. I want to remind you that for us to plot our inequality graph, the same methods we use in plotting a quadratic, the linear graph, are the same methods we are going to apply to plotting inequality graphs. And so do not panic, because it's going to really be simple. And so solution to the equation, solution 1. Okay, the only step you need to do here is to change the inequalities. Okay, so as to plot them, so as to help make the plotting easy. And we are plotting a straight line. We're plotting a straight line graph. Alright, and trying to change them, we will obtain the following: that y will be equal to, we can say that 6x rather, or 5y plus 6x, okay, starting from the first, minus 30 will be equal to 0. And you can as well state the second one becomes you can as well write this as 6x plus 5y minus 30 equal to 0. Nothing has changed. And then the second equation becomes 3x minus 2y plus 6 is equal to 0. Nothing has changed. And then the last one becomes y is equal to 0. So all you need to do is to solve for x, keeping y constant, making y 0, and then solve for y, making x 0. Alright, so we started with the first equation we have there, and the first equation that states that for 6x plus 5y minus 30 equal to 0, alright, if x is equal to 0, okay, that means you're replacing every x here to be 0. I have 6 times 0 times 5y minus 30 to be equal to 0. And then on the next slide, the only digit coming out there is 5y to be equal to 30, so that y will be equal to 30 over 5, and so therefore y is equal to 6. Alright, and so what if we keep y constant, make y to be equal to 0, and then keep x? So we have the equation 6x plus 5y minus 30 to be equal to 0 turns out to be 6x plus 5y is now 0 minus 30 to be equal to 0. And so we have this going out, and then we have 6x minus 30 to be equal to 0. So that 6x will be equal to 30, and then x will be equal to 30 over 6, so that x will be equal to 5. So therefore for the two coordinates x and y, you find out that when x was 0, y was 6, and then when x was 5, y will be equal to 0. Alright, for the second inequality, we have 3x minus 2y plus 6 equal to 0. And so what if x is equal to 0? If x is equal to 0, we have it that 3x is replaced by 0 2y plus 6 is equal to 0, so that minus 2 plus 6 is equal to 0, and then minus 2y is equal to minus 6, so that y will be equal to 3. Okay, and then what if we place y to be equal to 0? And so we have 3x minus 2y plus 6 to be equal to 0, to mean that we have 3x minus 2y is now 0 plus 6 equal to 0, and so we have 3x plus 6 equal to 0, and then 3x is equal to minus 6, and then x is equal to minus 6 over 3, and so x is equal to minus 2. And so therefore for the two coordinates x and y, okay, we have that when x was 0, y was equal to 3, and then when x was minus 2, y was equal to 0. Okay, and so for the last one, we had that if the last one states that y is greater than or equal to 0, which is understandable that y is equal to 0. Note that coefficient is being looked for here. Alright, so we try to plot the graph using the 2 points we have. The first point we had was 0 6 5 0. Alright, for the first point we have x and y. We had 0, we had 6, and we had 5, and then we had 0, and then that was for the first curve 6x plus 5y and minus 30, and then for the second one we had xy coordinates, and then we had 0 3 and then minus 2 and 0. Okay, and then we have y equal to 0. So we try to fix this into a graph, and then my graph is below. Alright, this is my graph. This is my y-axis, and then this is my x-axis. Okay, and my scales are as follow. I'll be using 1 centimeter to 2 units, okay, on my y-axis, and then as well I'll be using 1 centimeter to 2 units on my x-axis. Alright, so that means for each space, for each 1 centimeter you have 2 units. Each 1 centimeter you have 2 units, and each 1 centimeter you have 2 units, and then 2 units. For this you have minus 2, minus 4, and then minus 6. Alright, and then at the origin you have 0, minus 2. Okay, and for this you have 2 and 4 and 6 and 8. Alright, so on the first graph we had that when x is 0, y is 6, so you have y is 6 on this line, and then when x is 5, y is 0, and then x is 5 would be in between 6 and 8. Okay, so since we have this curve, we have to fit this line. We have to fit this line and see how it works out. Okay, fine. All right, so this is the line for 6x plus 5y minus 30. From the inequality, it states x less than or equal to 0, less than or equal to 0. Okay, and then we check for the second line. We have that when x is 0, y is 3, and so 3 lies in between 2 and 4, and then when x is minus 2, y is 0, and so this is our minus 2, and so we fit our graph 2 at this point. Okay, and so we have this. Alright, the line is not so perfect, but we can manage that. And so when y is 0, okay, it's on this line. When y is 0, alright, it's on this line on x. So that means the two lines, this is y is 0. Alright, this is our representation of the second equation, which says that we have 3x minus 2y plus 6 greater than or equal to 0, and then this is where we have a line of y greater than or equal to 0, and so y greater than or equal to 0 is upwards, and then less than or equal to 0 is downwards, and then greater than 0 is from this side too. And so the area that suits the curve is this area. So this area is the area that gives the solution of the inequality. Okay, because looking at this area, you find out that 0 is greater than y is greater than 0. Fine, so it's inside this area, and then 6 x plus 5y minus 30 is less than or equal to 0, and it's inside this area too. And then 3x minus 2y plus 6 is greater than or equal to 0. It's inside this area too. So this area represents the given inequality. Alright, you can solve some other examples using the knowledge you've obtained from inequalities and get similar or good answers. Have a nice day.